What is the difference in toxicity between a traditional cigarette and an electronic cigarette? Do they harm the human body in the same way? Through the use of smoking machines, they reproduce the exposure of human bronchial epithelium cells to traditional cigarette smoke, to the normal air we breathe, as well as to the vapor of 4 different flavored liquids for electronic cigarettes with nicotine. In the first phase of the research, oxidative stress was verified, i.e., the formation due to the combustion or heating of the liquid of free radicals capable of damaging cells. With smoke, after only 9 draws, i.e. 1 traditional cigarette, we insert a significant amount of free radicals into the body, the quantity of which becomes enormous after 5 cigarettes. But what happens using the electronic cigarette? There is no production of free radicals with the same air, despite the presence of nicotine. In the second phase, cell viability was assessed through exposure to a similar number of hits for nicotine release, 1 traditional cigarette and 10 e-cigarette hits. Following the exposure to traditional cigarette smoke, cell vitality is reduced by 80%. While using the electronic cigarette and the 4 flavored e-liquids, there is no substantial reduction compared to the breathed air alone. These data were also confirmed with a more detailed evaluation of the degree of cell viability, i.e. by studying the processes of apoptosis, programmed cell death, and necrosis, traumatic death, of the cells themselves. With exposure to traditional cigarette smoke, cell viability drops to 19.8%, and most of the cells are in advanced apoptosis and necrosis. While with exposure to the 4 flavored liquids for electronic cigarettes, the vitality of the cells remains between 75 and 80%. Even in the real-time assessment of cell viability, with exposure to traditional cigarette smoke, the cell dies after just 2 hours, while with exposure to vapor of puff e-liquids, viability remains close to 100%, even up to 48 hours. With traditional cigarette smoke, after a few hours the mitochondrion, i.e. the cell's energy powerhouse, stops working, while with the 4 flavored liquids for electronic cigarettes, the functionality of the mitochondrion remains actually unchanged. The research also highlighted the absence of microplastics. In conclusion, the tested puff e-liquids have a very high safety profile, while maintaining a high efficiency in the release of nicotine to users.